Choice is the most powerful thing we've got going for us. And that is the quote of the day. Welcome back to the Quote of the Day Show. I'm your host, Sean Croxton of SeanCroxton.com. Today's episode is brought to you by the Jerf Bar. Just eat real food, available at jerfbar.com. If you have a chance, I highly recommend that you go over to the Jerf Bar site and read the reviews. The reviews have been amazing. Like, just absolutely amazing. Thank you so much if you've ordered our bars. Thank you so much if you posted a review. I cannot tell you how grateful I am. We have fulfilled over 1,200 orders so far, and it's only been a little over a month. And so we're very excited about that. Thank you so much. Today's featured speaker is Dr. Carolyn Moss. And this is a topic that has made a huge difference in my life. And I read a book about it maybe 2 years ago. It's called, write this down, Your Greatest Power by J. Martin Cohey. Again, the title is Your Greatest Power. And that's when I learned that my greatest power, that your greatest power is our power to choose. It's to make choices. And so to have this understanding, to know that my greatest power is my ability to choose, has changed the way I see everything. If there is a circumstance or condition that I don't like being in, I can make a choice to not be in it. I can say to myself, you know what? I'm going to choose out of this, and I'm going to choose something else for myself. I'm going to choose a brand new destination and start moving toward that. Because here's the thing. When we're staying in our circumstances, when we're staying in those conditions that we don't want to be a part of, and we're not choosing out, by not choosing out, we are by default choosing to stay where we are. If you don't like where you are choosing to stay there. We must understand that. In a moment, in this very second, we can make a choice to have something other than what we have, to have something better. Here's Dr. Moss.
When I've been working with people now for 3.5 decades, and as an observer of people, there's so many things I could share with you, but I've narrowed them down for obvious reasons. And to choice, I want to emphasize the power of choice. And perhaps there was a time when we wouldn't even talk about it, but we have to talk about that today. Because choice is a fundamental power of the human experience. We need to put choice as an authority, as a power that is so huge that if I ran the world, this is where you should say, that's a good idea, but if I ran the world, I would make studying the power of choice part of every school curriculum. That everyone should learn that the power of the choices you make have infinite consequences. From the littlest choice to something that is great, big, huge. And that here's the paradox. You have no idea what a little choice is or a big choice. What we are used to doing is believing that a big choice is an obvious one. Buying a house, getting married, getting divorced. In fact, those are your small choices. The choices that actually matter when it comes to your health, when it comes to healing, when it comes to positioning yourself, empowering yourself, are the tiny ones that are the choices, I should say, that you think have the least power, that you make in the privacy of your own company, that perhaps you think have the most insignificant. I have found repeatedly, are the most powerful choices of your life. The most powerful. That have the most powerful impact on your biology, on your on your soul, on your sense of who you are, on your well-being, on your whole life map. Now, I'll tell you something else, that these are the types of statements that are dicey to make, because if someone said, I want you to bring proof of this in a basket, I couldn't do it. But if you listen with your heart and your gut and see if it doesn't settle well there like good chicken soup. So I'm going to take you through choices, the kind of choices that if you came to me and said, I don't feel well, I don't feel well, and I have chronicness, and I go from one chronicness to another. I have chronicnesses. I am always a curmudgeon. Nothing makes me happy. I am always complaining, and I ache, and I'm exhausted. I almost make unexhaustion, but I don't. And I almost like my life, but I actually don't. And I almost can love someone, but not really. I almost make it there where I actually feel love, but I don't actually really feel it. I think I feel it, so I think feel. And every now and again, I kind of get a love high, but it doesn't last. I take 2 aspirins, it passes. But then I think maybe it is, but then it's not. But then it is, but it almost is, but not quite. So I go to a therapist. Is this love? But if I try hard enough, but maybe. So I find someone to blame. Chronicness. There's never been people like us who have these issues. We're extraordinary in our issues. And as I go into this, here's another thing that is unique about us. And put this in your chicken soup belly. We are born knowing certain things. We're wired for it. It's in our instinct. It's in our spiritual instincts. It's in our DNA. It's in our soul DNA. We are born knowing that choice is powerful. Choice is the most powerful thing we got going for us, and we know it. And that's the reason why we're terrified to make a choice. I'll ask somebody, where do you want to go for dinner? I don't know. Pick a restaurant. No, can't even pick a restaurant. People are terrified of making choices. Terrified of the consequence you choose. Terrified of being held accountable for a consequence. Well, I don't know what I want to do. I'll think about it. The morning, the day, your mind gets the day shift, your heart gets the night shift. Your mind says, well, I think, your heart says, I feel. And you don't let the two of them talk to each other. Because if they do, then you actually have to do something. Choice terrifies people. So most people will do anything to postpone making choices.